Hello there. I watched a video earlier and it was the video of what happened when Tommy Robinson's campaign went to Oldham. Yeah, that's the video that they've tried to censor, even to the extent where they've made YouTube get rid of the share facility on site for that video. So what happened on this video? Well, what I saw that Tommy, probably mindful of the fact that Oldham is so heavily populated with Muslims, chose the most non-Muslim part of Oldham he could with which to stage his campaign. And I noticed that the crowd was made up predominantly of families and young children, and that there was very little show of any over-the-top nationalism, even to the extent of excessive St. George's flags or nationalistic chanting. Was very much a family atmosphere, and there was hardly any animosity at all, except maybe during the speeches whenever the mainstream media and the government were mentioned, but that's justified anyway. So basically, what I saw was a group of normal, ordinary, decent British people out there showing the support for a legitimate political candidate. But then what I saw next deeply troubles me. What I saw was an organised group of young Muslim men being chaperoned to the site by the British police, where these young Muslims proceeded to carry out an orchestrated attack on the crowd by way of throwing missiles, rocks and bricks and scissors and all manner of things towards the crowd and endangering the well-being of them families and them young children to such an extent that the organisers of the campaign had to shuttle many children away in vehicles and into local properties to keep them out of harm's way. And all this under the idle gaze of the British police, who made no attempt to stop this from happening, made no attempt to disperse the crowd of young Muslim men. There was no arrests carried out, even despite the fact that a few police vehicles were damaged by the missiles being thrown by the young Muslim men. In fact, the police went as far as to refuse to refer to the group as young Muslim men when questioned as to who was carrying out the attacks. Instead, they referred to them as counter protesters. How the fuck can they be counter protesters when there isn't even a protest going on? What was going on was a legitimate political campaign, yeah, by an MEP candidate, yeah, addressing British people in a British public space. Now that's what I saw, okay, but no doubt the mainstream media will turn what I saw into their own warped version so that it can be pounced on by pompous, lying politicians and used as a stick again with which to beat that loathsome individual, Tommy Robinson. They will push out the same narrative as always. Oh, look, whenever Tommy's in town, trouble always follows Tommy. Trouble didn't follow Tommy to town, to Oldham town centre that day. Trouble was chaperoned there by the British police. On the behest of who, you might ask? Well, I'm sure we know the answer to this. Because we all know that the intelligent among us know that this narrative is just a pure lie. It's a fraudulent narrative. And the scary part is, despite us knowing this, there are millions of British still out there who are still believing what they're being told. They don't know any better, yeah, than to believe what they're being told by the mainstream media and by the government. And this is why Tommy Robinson needs to do what he's doing. It's why he needs to be voted in. Yeah, he needs to be voted in as an MEP. Okay, Tommy needs to get elected for this very reason. Now, Tommy doesn't need to be an MEP so he can go and sit among other MEPs, because he will be surrounded by leftist fools who will cold shoulder him and they'll afford him no effect or no influence at all on any policies. Okay, Tommy doesn't need to be elected as an MEP to send a message to the mainstream media or to send a message to the government, because believe you me, they have already got the message about Tommy Robinson. They've had it for years. Why do you think they are persecuting the man? Why do you think they are censoring him? They're trying to get him banned from every form of network, because they've seen the crowds, they've heard the chants, they've seen the followers, they've seen the followings on social media, they've read the comments, they've seen the love that the working class British people have for Tommy Robinson. So they don't need to be sent a message. The mainstream media and the government have already very much got the message, and it's the fact that they've got the message that atrocities like happened in Oldham the other day are happening. So why then do we need to vote Tommy in? Why do we need to get Tommy elected? Well, there's a few reasons. One of which is maybe if he's an MEP, more of the general public who are sheep at the moment will have their eyes opened to the fact that he isn't a nasty, he isn't a fascist, he's actually telling the truth. So being an MP, if being an MP helps in that regard, then that's great. Also, for his own safety, being an MEP may afford him just that little bit more peace of mind as regards to safety for him and his family. But the main reason is this. The main reason why we need to vote for Tommy, why we need to get Tommy elected, why we need to get Tommy elected by landslide number of votes is simple as this. We need to make Tommy believe in us. We need to make Tommy believe that tens and tens and thousands of the British public are truly, truly behind him. We need to make Tommy believe that he's not wasting his time, that it's all worthwhile, that all the shit and all the hassle and all the grief and all the stress and all the threats to him are all worthwhile. Yeah, we need to make Tommy realise that it's the will of the people, the will of the good British people, yeah, that we're ready for the fight, that we're ready for real change. We need to convince Tommy to keep up the fight on our behalf. That's why we need him, because without Tommy Robinson, without people like Tommy Robinson give up the fight, then we might as well all pack up and emigrate to Bangladesh. So on May the 23rd, on the ballot paper, take your pen. Don't take your pencil where they can rub it out and erase your vote, just like they did with Brexit. Take your pen and mark beside Tommy Robinson's name. But you're not marking beside Tommy Robinson's name, yeah, to send a message to the mainstream media. You're not marking beside Tommy Robinson's name to send a message to the government. You're not marking beside Tommy Robinson's name to send a message to Europe. You're marking beside Tommy Robinson's name to send a message to Tommy Robinson that you're there beside him, that you're with him, that you're willing to stand shoulder to shoulder beside him for now and for years to come, for the benefit of our country. Tick the box. Till next time, take care.